Hey everybody, what is going on? So in this section, we're going to talk about your prospecting schedule. And this is where you're going to learn exactly when the best time is to send your outbound cold email or any type of message. So starting out, what you can do is I'm going to give you a schedule that you can use as a base. Now this schedule typically works for most industries and works for most products. So use it as your base. And for some of you, you might even just use this straight period and it's going to work right off the bat. However, for others, depending if your sales is a little different, you can see after sending emails, you'll understand what time is going to be the best time for you to send. But again, use this as a base and then improve as you go on. So now when it comes to which day you should actually send your email, if you're doing business and doing B2B, I would actually avoid Saturday and Sundays because this is typically where people have days off. So this is why I would focus your emails on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, typically Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays will have a higher response rate compared to Monday and Friday, but sometimes they're all the same. So that's just something to keep in mind. And also, I would say you shouldn't even wait for let's say it's Monday and you want to send out some emails. Don't wait till Tuesday to actually send them out. Just send them out on Monday because the variance is not that high. Now, if you are prospecting in the United States of America, what you want to do is you want to send your emails again on Monday through Friday, and you want to send it during the time of 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. PST, Pacific time. And the reason why I'm choosing this time for you guys is because if you're sending at 6 a.m. Pacific time, that means on the East Coast, it's going out 3 hours ahead, meaning it's 9 a.m., right? And so if you want to reach all audiences and you're not even sure what time zone these people are in, if you send it at 6 to 7 a.m., it's going to reach everybody from people in California, Texas, and New York, and you're fine with the times. Now, if you're sending outside the USA, right, let's say Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, India, wherever it is, again, send Monday through Friday, and you want to do 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. in your local time zone. And why I choose the morning is because typically in the morning, that's where people are not necessarily bombarded with emails and they're not busy during their workday. So you want to get them in the morning, and the first thing people do when they go to work is check their email or look at their phone and check their email. And if your email is interesting enough, they'll respond to you and you have a higher likelihood of getting them in the morning versus the evening or the afternoon, because by then they're just too busy and overwhelmed with all the messages and communications that they're getting. There have been cases where Sundays do work, like Sunday late night, and those work in special situations where maybe the person's not responding during the normal weekday. But for the most part, if you're sending a high volume of emails, I would just stick to a consistent Monday through Friday during this time. And this is typically the best time people actually will respond. So I would just stick with this and see how it works for you. And also, when you are sending follow-up emails, which we'll show you later in the course, you will need to send it around the same time as well. So whether it's the first email they're receiving or the follow-up email, this is the time you typically want to send your emails. Now, when it comes to when you should follow up with these people, and we'll show you how to follow up later, but essentially, let's say you're sending on Monday. You want to wait at least 3 days to 1 week before sending the next follow-up. So if you want to go as quickly as possible, you would send on Monday, then you wait 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you would send on Thursday, then you wait another 3 days, and then you would send on Monday. So every 3 days, I would use that as the minimum of when you should wait until you would send a follow-up. And if you're trying to reach a big company and you don't want to seem like you're desperate, then if you send on Tuesday, you could wait 1 week and send on another Tuesday. It really doesn't really matter between 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days from my personal experience. It's just how you want to come off. Do you want to come off as someone that is reaching out every 3 days, or do you want to come off as someone that's reaching out once per week? And it's really preference at that point. But I would say, again, if you were to follow up with somebody 3 to 7 days, and you can use your judgment on how long you want to wait. And my recommendation for you is when you are sending these emails, you want to make sure you're emailing at least 20 different companies per campaign. The reason is because you don't really have enough data to say whether or not people are responding to your emails or if that time is good to send, unless you got at least 20. And 20 really isn't that much. And sometimes some people might say it's not even enough to really say. But for regular everyday small business or solo entrepreneurs, or if you're just starting out, send at least 20 different emails to 20 different companies per campaign to see whether it works or not. Because let's say you send only 3 emails, if people don't respond, you don't really know if your message is resonating because there's not enough people in your data. So again, send 20 different emails to see if a campaign works or not, and that is the minimum. So with that said, that's pretty much everything we have to cover when it comes to when to send your emails, how long you should wait before you follow up, and knowing that you need to send at least 20 different emails per campaign to each different company to see if it really makes sense and if you're collecting the right data so you can have some insight and improve on your future campaigns. So with that said, that's everything we got to cover for this lesson, and I will see you in the next.